Mercedes-Benz has a rich history in motorsports, dating back to the teens, 20s, particularly in the 30s, and definitely in the 80s in DTM, Deutsche Tourenwagen Meisterschaft. Alright, my German could use a little work. But look at this car. This 2.5 Evo 2 version of the 190e is a beast, and one of Mercedes' most iconic race cars. But this car's legacy is even deeper than DTM championships. I snapped this image at the Mercedes Museum of the 190e that set multiple land speed records, even went over 150 miles an hour for 50,000 kilometers straight. That's pretty impressive. So here I am cleaning my 192.316 Cosworth. You've probably already seen the short take where I talk about the car. You know I love the car. You probably love these cars. But I looked a long time and I actually had others before this, and it's tough to find a good one. You know, one of the main reasons I wanted to include one of these cars in the series is, look, M3s went through the roof a few years back. These are still languishing behind a little bit, and it is really hard to find a keeper. I think you need to find one now before they're all snapped up. As you can hear, it's clearly worth finding a good one. The Cosworth engine is a sweet thing. The handling of the car, while a little bit looser and set up a little more comfy than a E30 M3, there's just something special about these cars. You know, think about it. It's a limited production car that you can own for, you know, half or less than half of its peer, which is the E30 M3. I think you absolutely have to jump on one of these now. They're about to go through the roof. Now, while I intend to keep my car pretty much stock, wheels are something that I think needed an upgrade. The 15-inch wheels, a lot of people go to like a 16-inch SL wheel. I wanted to go to a 17-inch wheel, something closer to like the 2.5 Evo wheel. And this wheel from 1552, which you probably saw in the short take, I think it looks perfect on the car. It's called the Turbo Mac. It has a lot of kind of like period DTM detailing. It's got really nice detail around the outside edge. The center is dished like a vintage DTM wheel, and I think it sets the car off perfectly. What do you think? Now, while we're down here taking in the beauty of these wheels, look at this body kit. When you're looking for these cars, this is one of the hardest things to find undamaged. This is what it's supposed to look like, and sadly a lot of them just don't look like this. As you may notice on the grille, I have a badge on there that denotes 250 kilometers. This car actually has over 160,000 miles, and maintenance on these cars is kind of a big deal. Unlike a lot of modern cars, these cars need valve adjustments, and that's something that's very important to the health of the engine. And keep in mind, these cars have mechanical fuel injection, and not a lot of people know how to set these up these days. Mercedes build quality in this era was outstanding, and for the most part the interiors on these cars are pretty robust. And most of the cars I looked for even before this one were still pretty good on the inside. If they've been loved and cared for, they're gonna look like this. Mercedes was extremely thoughtful, from details to soft seats that had huge side bolsters to taillights that wouldn't get covered up with snow while you were driving down the Autobahn because they have these ridges incorporated into the design. In the US market, all the 192.316s came fully loaded. In Europe, you could get cloth seats, you could even have one with no wood grain, no aircon, pretty stripped out. While it's the Cosworth engine that gets a lot of the spotlight, the transmission in these cars has a dogleg first gear, and that's pretty awesome. In 1984, Ayrton Senna put the 190e 2.316 on the map. At the Nürburgring, in the rain, Ayrton Senna managed to best current and past F1 champions in real style. Now, if you haven't seen the documentary Senna, stop what you're doing right now and go watch that, because Ayrton Senna was an amazing driver, honestly an amazing human being. And what he did that day at the Nürburgring showed that he was a champion in any car, in any time, in any weather, in any circumstance. His tragic death in 1994 at Imola really affected me, and I think to some extent plays into the legacy of this car for me personally. What better way to pay tribute to a great driver than to drive a great driver's car? Now, by today's standards, the 192.316 isn't blisteringly fast, but it does still manage to put a smile on my face. Now, a lot of people say don't meet your heroes or don't drive your heroes, but in the 192.316's case, there's just something special about the car. It's really special to me, and I think if you like this car, you should find one, you should buy it, and you should drive it.